This is my new pond, and I was going to explain how I designed the filtration. There's 3 filtration circuits, and the first one I'm going to talk about is the bottom drain circuit. And there's 2 bottom drains in the pond, and each one has it's a 3-inch pipe that's 90'd up in the bottom of the pond, and it's got a concrete cover over the top that has an air dome on top of that. And that 3-inch pipe runs to the first section of the raceway, which is going to be the settlement section, and it's under the deck here. The 2 bottom drain pipes are 90'd up in the center, and they've got this container around them so that the water comes up and then has to go right back down to the settlement corner. That's just to keep the thing floating in the right spot. It's really a simple way. I was going to get a tube, and then I temporarily came up with this idea, and it works so well I don't need a tube. So these 2 pipes in the center are coming from the 2 bottom drains. The water's coming up inside this container and then going back down. So the solids are going with the water, and the bottom of this settlement chamber is all sloped at an angle to the corner. In the corner there's a 3-inch pipe, and it runs to the outside right here, where we have the pipe is 90'd up, it's teed over, and then it goes to the waistline. I've got a timer here, and every 2 hours it comes on for about 30 seconds. And I'll press the reset button right now and it'll come on. And you see when the air pump turns on, it airlifts the water out of the settlement corner and just drains it away to waste. So automatically every 2 hours the solids are being emptied out of the settlement drain. There's also another feed to this raceway filter so that the flow rate through the bottom drains isn't too fast. So there's 2 mid-level intakes right here that are 90'd up, and they're not inside this tube. And so the water in this chamber goes through 3 pipes, 3 3-inch pipes into the next chamber. The pipes are inside that wall. It goes all the way down to the bottom, and then it's just 90'd over and comes into this chamber. And the water just comes up through brushes, and then it goes through those 3 pipes into the next chamber. And that next chamber is biofiltration. So I've got aeration in front of this matting, aeration on the other side of this matting. There's 2 stacks of matting. All these chambers are 6 feet deep. And then there's an airlift, and the airlift flows about 3,000 gallons an hour, and it uses a 40 amp air pump. And then this other pump is an axial flow pump, and it pushes about 8,000 gallons an hour. So the total flow through this raceway is somewhere around 11,000 gallons an hour. And that puts a lot of current in the pond for the fish to work out in. And then since I was going to put a deck over the filtration, I got the idea to make it overhang the pond a couple feet, give the fish some shade, and then we hung this swing that's behind us. But so the pond is not cycled yet. The fish have been in here about 4 weeks now. And I do not have a UV running yet. I thought I would let the pond finish cycling before I turn the UV on. So this is the bottom drain circuit. The other 2 circuits are both fed out of the skimmer bay. The 2 skimmers are 1 circuit, and then in the bottom of that skimmer bay, about 3.5 feet deep, there's a pipe on the floor, and it also runs over to the remote filtration. The returns from the remote filtration are right here in the waterfall basin. There's 2 4-inch pipes that gravity return. There's also 4 2-inch pipes in the bottom of this waterfall basin that go down to the wall of the pond. that I can put a current in the pond if I want. And if I open all 4 of these pipes, it'll totally shut the waterfall off and all the water will return to the underwater return. So the 2 external filtration filters, one of them has a pre-filter basket. That's the one that's fed from that 3-inch pipe in the bottom of the skimmer basin. And this just gives me a spot to empty out anything that gets in there from all the trees and stuff that are around. And this pump right here direct suctions the 2 skimmers. And it goes through the bead filter, and then it comes up here and it goes through the backy showers. And the backy showers come down and they empty into this catch basin that's also a foam fractionator because it traps all the surface water here, and the water that returns from here comes from the bottom of this basin the way I have it plumbed. So anytime I start to get foam in here, it should build up and then overflow out this drain pipe. And I can also just block this flow for a second, and it makes the water rise up in here, and then any surface foam that's here will just be rinsed away to the wasteland. It's just another way to take DOC out without having to buy a clarity unit. So anyway, this is the skimmer circuit. Again, it comes from the 2 skimmers, goes to this pump, goes to the bead filter, gets plumbed to the shower, gets into this catch basin, and then returns to the waterfall. The other circuit is a pump here that draws off that pre-filter that comes out of the bottom of the skimmer basin. And that pump pumps through these 3 upflow sand and gravel filters. And the water comes up through layers of sand and gravel and also lithophilus and buffering in the water. And then these 3 sand and gravel filters all dump into this 250-gallon moving bed. And the idea was the sand and gravel filters are going to provide buffering and fines filtration, but they also tend to rob the water of oxygen. So by dumping it back into a moving bed before it returns to the pond, I'm re-oxygenating the water after the sand and gravel filters and providing another area for a lot of biofiltration if it's needed. There's